The girl bit into the fish and immediately made a face, but everyone else eating the same dish didn't notice anything off. Then the other guests started rating the food and writing down their comments. Right around that time, the girl got a text from her friend, and that's when it hit her. She had walked into the wrong room. She had stumbled into a tasting banquet hosted by a Michelin-starred chef. The chef was planning to choose a new apprentice from among the guests. Her friend was still waiting for her out in the lobby, so she slipped out of the room quickly, not knowing that this little mix-up was about to change her life. Meanwhile, the chef asked his assistant to bring back the guests' feedback. As expected, every single comment was glowing with praise. The chef was annoyed. He felt the guests had been blinded by his reputation and hadn't actually tasted the food carefully. Then the assistant mentioned something odd. There was one extra guest this time. This person hadn't left a name, but had written that the fish had 2 herby flavors, and that the combination was off-putting. The chef was floored. How could anyone pick out 2 distinct herby notes in the fish? He knew the white wine in the recipe carried a grassy note, but what was the second one? He rushed to the kitchen and grabbed a tub of butter. He explained that the milk used to make the butter came from cows that grazed only on grass. His assistant just stared at him, completely lost. The chef gave the order right then and there. Find that girl. At that very moment, the girl, who worked as a hotel housekeeper, had dozed off from exhaustion in the chef's room. When the assistant tracked her down, she was fired on the spot. Out of a job, she decided to treat herself to a good meal to lift her spirits, and by chance, she ran right into the chef. He tried to console her, but she turned on him, saying she had lost her job because of his assistant. They went back and forth, and she brought up again how awful those 2 herby flavors had been. That's when the chef realized she was the one he had been looking for. He ran after her and offered her $2,000 a day to be his personal tour guide. The girl couldn't say no and agreed on the spot, not realizing it was actually a test. The next day they went out for a drive together. The girl was in great spirits. She ordered a cup of coffee. While she was distracted, the chef quietly scraped a tiny bit of cake onto a stick and dipped it into her coffee without her noticing. But after just one sip, she caught the flavor of the cake. The chef was even more blown away. On the way back, he asked her why her sense of taste was so sharp. She told him she had been very sick as a child, and when she recovered,